It is time to start the trial. As such, I will stop streaming and start recording.
Makes sense.
Okay. Let's bring it to an end, y'all. Woogity, woogity, woogity.
Let's begin with a basic. If you can figure out who did was that?
It was Hero. Don't try and deny it.
I did it!
Check your murder.
I am.
I don't know.
Everything we found in your room.
Ah, whoops.
Shoot.
Everything we found in your room.
Jump the gun.
The blueprints, the seed cards,
Hey,
No, it's wrong.
that's right. It's time.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take
Take
a look
at this.
It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprint.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto.
So?
I got it!
It was Hero.
Other than Hero, obviously he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What?
Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement?
Of course. But before, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation. It would seem
The
that
car.
his corpse... Makoto, can you...
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange, is it not possible?
She's raised an objection.
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
I hate this.
Do your worst.
Why can't I see it?
You have it wrong.
Yeah, I can't. I need to be able to see it. The worst part is I just didn't know when.
I refuse to give up yet.
Let's try that again. I keep forgetting it's also a rhythm game. That's what it is.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst.
Thank you, I can see it again.
You did it.
I cannot agree.
This should prove
I got up to a 60 combo, but then it changed tempo again and I got completely lost.
I have
Well,
it
this
right
time did
here.
much better this time than the first time.
Thank you.
When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it.
This I can confirm this is further than I got last time I did this trial.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body... And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Whoops.
Shoot!
As we know,
Taka was killed, and from there...
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it onto the...
Now,
keep in mind that the dolly doesn't...
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly so the killer and carted the...
if you accept, then you must realize that...
Dang it, come on.
I don't think
I tried to shoot the button, but you did that
As we
weird
know,
ghost thing.
And from there...
Yeah, then loaded it onto the dolly.
Now, keep in mind...
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong!
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember? Am I right?
Now that you mention...
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that...
Well, what's to stop you from simply...
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone...
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the...
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off with...
Then... You really can't take it off by yourself?
Of course I was.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
So... It's...
To be clear, whoever did move the body...
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice?
Ha ha ha! This is quite obviously just a pose. He's just posing with the cardboard box. The cardboard suit. In fact, now that I look at it, it looks like he's holding up his arm to the point where... Yeah. The left arm, the robot's left arm, the one underneath the J, is disjointed. In fact, it's completely separate from the rest of the robot body. Ain't that crazy?
If whoever was in that suit is not the Besides, do you remember what the now deceased So long as the individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility instead of seizing on one viewpoint? The truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our...
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone.
I'm gonna have some ramen. I'll be right back. Since she's doing the recap, I'll be right back. Alright, just a little bit longer. Bye. Bye. I'll bet. Alright, the news is there will be no ramen. Turns out Jonathan ate them.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's totally in theme.
That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
You can eat something else?
Mm-hmm. Cool Ranch Doritos.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
and then... At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurses, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. And that's when we heard the... I left Celeste...
meanwhile, we must have found because we...
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer, while Taka's death came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were... Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed, while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Dang it.
Shoot! So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer.
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if
How
he
do I-
died before Hifumi.
What I need to tell them is that his Taka's wristwatch broke at 6, which means that he was probably killed before 7. I don't know how to tell them that.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
Why is the one with the most votes Makoto?
So, regarding I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order Taka came last.
what makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Ah.
Shoot! So, regarding I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
For crying out loud.
Shoot!
So, regarding Taka's death,
That's not it.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
Regarding I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
shoot!
How
So,
will I tell
regarding
you?
Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot! So,
don't know.
regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the number.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death came from.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
so, regarding Taka's...
Alright.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they... Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came... So,
I don't know how to tell them
I
this.
wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Ah!
Hifumi was while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
So, regarding... I wonder if he... Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
This hurts.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if...
or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Fuck!
It's true that Hifumi while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
This might even be wrong still. I don't remember if I've already
We
tried it.
already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
So I see two problems with that line of thinking. One, first of all, Taka's clock is broken at 6, which would put the time of death earlier than anybody else. Would put the time of death before 7. And they could have just used the hammers out of order. It's not like they had to.
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Alright. I need to be thinking some kind of laterally here. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know what they want me to say to accomplish it.
I refuse to give up yet.
Huh? What did you say?
Yeah. I was like, talking to yourself probably helps, because I'm pretty sure I can't say anything without
Right. No, don't worry. I'm just talking to myself, yeah. And also for posterity's sake, that I'm just not firing randomly. I just don't know how they want me to phrase this.
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Yeah.
Shoot. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that while Taka's death
Came from
No,
a
let's not do
string
that.
of
That makes no sense.
So it's obvious Taka came after.
Did I just not try it with this?
I wonder if he, or
There's no way.
We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's
Well,
true that
hello.
Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came...
So, regarding...
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Huh.
Shoot. So, regarding... I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
It's true that while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding... I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
How do you want me to phrase this?
Shoot.
So, regarding Taka's death,
Well, there's only one
I wonder if he died
unless
by
I'm just
accident.
incredibly
We already know what
brain dead and
came
forgot.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammer.
Yeah, I didn't think so. That makes no sense. So what? I must have missed an obvious combination. There's only 6.
I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
Did I not already try this one?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Yeah, what? Is there a mechanic I'm forgetting about? Probably.
I refuse to give up yet.
No matter what, this hurts. My pride is hurt. I have many issues with her line of thinking, but I don't... Is there a missing truth bullet?
Regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
While Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Haha! I did forget about a mechanic! Yes!
There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
So long.
I know, I was like, oh... I was thinking the biggest thing that contradicts her own statement was her statement. But I didn't know how to communicate that, so I figured I'd have to do it with my own evidence. But I figured it out, thankfully.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Now I show you the watch.
Okay then, let's...
Forgot how this works. Wrist. Watch. Wrist. S. T. Y. W. H. Woohoo! Dab.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night... So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together.
Hifumi offed
Then
himself.
we all ran down to the nursery.
Obviously.
That's totally true. We're
I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or...
If that's true, where...
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis since all of us were there together.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered when his body vanished from the nurse's office. Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room. And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how.
Dad.
In particular, I think we need to figure out
That's true. And according to
Move
what
himself.
his body apparently disappeared in the one
He also
minute her
didn't
and
like
Hina
leave a
took their eyes off
blood
of it.
drag, so that's another way you know he just left.
But to carry that much weight for...
Oh man,
well, what if I told you there
What?
if the dead body
Or to move itself. Exactly.
The dead body.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead.
He was...
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse?
But I mean, we thought
Perhaps he was simply...
that... It isn't possible.
Yeah. I present to you the eyeglasses.
Are you saying that when we first... There's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
and you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Ah, that's not what they wanted me to do.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first
found Hifumi, there's a chance he...
No,
Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body was Hifumi's dead body, and that is. Are we real?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's
Ah.
discovery.
So it did count.
Shoot!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No.
Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why.
Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was actually still alive?
I don't know what they want me to say.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Shoot!
How do you want me to answer this question? Like Kyoko's right, but how do I? All right.
I refuse to give up yet!
It's like those parodies of Phoenix Wright where they say, "You figured out the case too quickly, so you
Are you
lose."
saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible.
I already did that one.
Hifumi was dead. Without it, and you know that. Surely you heard the body. Hifumi's dead body had been, and that is why the announcement.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was actually
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body, and that is why.
Are we really so sure? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
What do you? How do you want me to prove that I know that they were found at the same
Are you
time?
saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so?
Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the there's a chance he was actually
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the. Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't even know why I tried that one. But I have to be sure now.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was actually
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that how? Surely you heard the body discovery announcement, along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Alright. Well, that one's exhausted.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
That means I need to fight Celeste's account with Celeste's account.
Are you saying that when
Ah,
we
dang
first
it!
found
Do I have
there's
to
a
use
chance
that
he was
new?
actually still alive?
No. It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why. Are we real? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was out?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Alright, so it's obvious that that instead of thinking as my ammo is the only way to solve, I need to start using the other speeches against each other. And that's not just a one per case thing, that's something I need to actively look for. Whoops. Press no. I like how he laughs like Stitch. All right. All right, let's get this done.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts,
They are all proof enough. No, it's wrong. I got it! I got it! I got it! It was the same.
All right, let's do it.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst.
Why can't I
You
see?
miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Thank goodness.
If you're asking for when
When they
I found
change
the doll,
Temple, they
it
should
was a
show you the dots
killer,
again so you
probably
can get a
blood with
reference.
blood, so
Well, anyway, that was just some.
Yeah. What?
I'm not
I'd be happy if you looked. As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Yeah. The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah. But even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, it's wrong. I got it!
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
so, regarding
I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
No, it's wrong.
Wristwatch.
Now I understand. I got it. See?
What?
I'll be back. Alright. Now I'm gonna look for some bullets to use against each other.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi and that there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery and that Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Whoops, I pressed the wrong button.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead body had. And that is.
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Yeah! Absolutely, this will work.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he was at...
No. Hifumi was dead. And you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery and that Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No!
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I hate this game's controls!
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body with Hifumi's dead body, and that is...
Are we really? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was actually...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery announced. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Thank you. Thank God. That's 30 seconds of my life I will not get back. As well as a minute of my life. 3 minutes of my life I will not get
really
back.
intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after.
Not to
finding
mention,
his
there was
body
a
that we heard
second
the
body is
announcement.
found announcement afterwards.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
That's right.
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. Shoot!
That wasn't it.
I got it! We heard it a
Oh,
second
you're right.
time in the
That technically
repository.
happened first.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
He cleaned his glasses.
I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
At this part, well, it was earlier too. It was definitely the fact that she's been so ruthless during this one defense, but
Okay then, let's take
she's
another
not
look at the
stupid
events
enough
surrounding the
for it not to
discovery
be
of his
her.
body.
Like, there's no, like, alright, I'm 100%
Then it should become
secured
clear
my
whether he
theory.
was really alive or not.
This
From
whole
earlier.
thing is pointless.
Going in for the slam dunk. No, the theory that she did it and Hifumi was an accomplice who killed himself at the end.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really
Of course not.
Press the wrong
It
button.
is impossible. This is ridiculous. Well, here's one thing. The first time we found him, and then, His body disappeared.
And the next time it was in the
But when you compare his body before, other than the change in how he felt, there was no notable difference.
No, it's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera. And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Priggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
I believe you.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
She's right.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
There's blood packs in the fridge.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
Locked for me
And the
too.
repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Yay.
But
I
that
was right.
means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Shoot!
Oh, that's right. I answered with the exact opposite. The main paper, not the scrap.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Hubby!
Just to be clear.
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Go time! It's a scrap! No, no, no!
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Hubby!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Hubby!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Ah!
Hubby had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Hubby!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended must have been Hubby!
Flip it, reverse it.
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended must have been Hubby!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.,
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Alright, what are the evidences it wants you to use again?
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been...
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? And the person it was in must have been Hubby.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? And the person it was in must have been Hubby.
But But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note right, then the person it was must have been Harvey.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, then the person it was must have been Harvey.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Shoot. Puppy had the note right. Then the person it was intended for. Must have been Harvey.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note right. Then the person it was intent must have been Harvey.
Aw, rip me. I thought I had it that time. Biggest question is how to communicate my thoughts properly.
I refuse to give up yet.
Puppy had the note right.
Why can't I just use the paper scrap? It's probably none of these.
Then the person it was intended for must have...
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
Haha!
No, what's wrong?
I was a fool thinking that just because there was a lot of them, they were trying to distract me.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet.
Right! I wish you could just say this!
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah.
Celeste
After
hasn't
seeing
talked
all
in a
this,
very long time.
Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing.
False.
Sorry, no.
That's like being suspicious of me when we were playing.
When we found him in the
aliens.
repository,
Yes, very true.
Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Hifumi.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed
Either
in the
Hifumi
repository.
himself or Celeste.
So he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
Oh yeah, Monokuma said suicide wasn't allowed.
In other words, during that time, none of us...
Or rather, it wouldn't get anyone out.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office, and so if Hifumi was
A
killed
perfectly
in the
clean
repository,
hammer.
the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Yes, we
Hell
can.
yeah,
just
it's
us.
packed in there good and tight.
It's packed in there
He's
good
right,
and tight.
though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear, but if the hammers were already laid...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either? Personally, I
False.
haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
That...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both
So then, what...
Why can't I just present the evidence? Please!
If you want to just present
What
evidence,
was used to kill Hifumi?
You're right.
Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like...
GameSpot.com/hammertime for more info.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Haha! I waited patiently.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mount. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out
He
the
wanted
murder.
to get the laptop
So the
out.
idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not? Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually kept, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply
That is how the rule.
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply
That is how the rule was.
But that only really applies if there's one. In this case, however, there were two murders.
based on the rules that have even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act can assuming the rule holds true.
No, that's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. a single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
It is time.
Here's my answer.
Was that the
was
easiest
Celeste.
decision you made?
It was because I knew that there was nothing I could like. If that was a quick time event, I could have still gotten it wrong. But that one, I'm sure I got it.
I'm the suspicious individual. I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that
Her.
shit brain, that lazy, worthless.
Yay! We heard her poker face break.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Constantly disappearing.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit. Thus, the only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Yikes.
So, as he said, only
Makoto, don't say
Celeste and
sorry.
Hifumi
Yeah,
ever laid
yeah,
eyes on the
Makoto,
trusting
no, you stand
individual.
up for yourself.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we
Dude,
can't
this
help
man
but
really said the
suspect what
adults are
Celeste
talking
has
now.
said
That's
as well.
crazy. This game is amazing.
Everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Yep.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said? Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Alright, and then he took you out of the room so you wouldn't see it.
I was. Wait. Then that was.
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Oof. Back then there was only one person dead.
Too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste?
Dang it, Jossie.
Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said?
Gassan, if there was any doubt about whether or not Gassan was this whether or not Jossie was Hyro, that push the button game with you and Ali put those way super far away. That was very angering. That's canon. It's canon now.
No, it's canon.
It's canon. Jesus.
If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this.
Whoops.
Enjoying the
The red hanging.
They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Ah, whoops.
Shoot!
I guess I reversed it.
All I said was they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. Right? They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like the...
Woo! Victory dance! Finally.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. so there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed?
I'm about to see
how did you
more
know they
neutral
were both
accent,
guys?
Celeste.
Because Kyoko had also
see.
disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
That was literally just a pose.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup. So let's put the suit on. And
She didn't have to put the
then-
suit on.
then she...
Have you so quickly forgotten? Thus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not, in other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, simple.
Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Shut your mouth.
Jesus. I'm just gonna let her talk this time. Oh, yeah.
We're almost at the end, Joe.
You dressed
Yeah.
me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way! You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious,
It wasn't even in the
there's
suit.
no way they could stand up straight like that.
Woo!
No!
Down, down, down,
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Oh.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Oh, there goes that poker
Celeste
face.
and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste?
Nice.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Maybe he didn't know who killed him. Maybe you snuck in and killed him when he didn't. Oh, that's crazy.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back
But I'm
to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Shoot!
I actually don't
Think
remember.
back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last
It was a
name-
toss-up between those
He
two.
called us-
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think that he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
I like this voice actor. Voice actress.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Kinda.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Oh, it's go time.
Hifumi he wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person...
Haha! Show us your e-handbook, sis.
It would have to be
Show her your papers.
You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, it's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
This is gonna have a lot of steps. Let's do it. Oh, I forgot. It goes right to left.
Like the manga.
This toaster's still here. Gross! This is the grossest ever! How did I miss this? Jesus! You know, I forgot which hammer went where. Let's see. That's self-explanatory. Six o'clock. Whoops. Alright, just one more.
The killer is you! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help
This
carry
seems
out the
right.
murder. And that person was Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number
A
of
walrus
centralized
man! That's what he looks like, a walrus!
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, and once again, Hifumi had...
Feels good being so right.
That explains how...
It's nice
But
when you
even
have the same
Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had
Yeah.
in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case.
That's cool.
Celeste, sorry, you lose.
Each killer has a really unique one.
Yeah.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Keiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Huh.
Interesting.
You got rid of his accent.
Yeah. It's a lot of A's. Hey! I'm on a coinma. I'm on a coinma. I'm on a coinma.
I'm ready to be.
Sorry.
Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks.
She's not wrong.
I knew it. So
Nice
then,
intuitive happily agree.
She was gonna bring the computer out.
Indeed.
Yep, I was right about it too.
I think you guessed it from
Say
the first
what?
answer.
Yep.
just a second. In other words,
Indeed.
I see.
Actually,
What?
are you okay with this? So then,
Damnation! Say what?
As for me,
Oh,
as for me,
Oh! Wow, Celeste!
what?
Wow, Celeste, that's really crummy. You suck.
Damnation!
She's the most unrepentant so far.
Ah.
Say what? Completely unforgivable!
most unfortunate. Actually,
What?
indeed.
Completely.
Honestly.
I swear I will save her!
Actually,
Jesus. With that, it is complete. What? Oh, nothing.
I see.
Yeah, disgusting.
indeed.
But
Because you're stupid.
Let's see.
Life must have been tough on your parents, though. Jesus!
Well,
If any.
Are you
Hey,
okay?
Kasan, can you say something really quick?
Hey, testing.
Hey. What's goody?
Okay.
I can hear Kasan.
Well, yeah, I can hear him. I was just testing something.
Okay.
so in the end,
What the heck?
Well,
don't be mean!
I wonder about that.
Why?
What the heck?
But
You little bitch!
Wonderful.
Hey!
Yeah, definitely knew that her being the poker face lady, that anything she said about the state of affairs was a lie. She hated it here.
You little bitch!
This is fine. Honestly. As for me, isn't it wonderful?
Oh, she wanted to live in a castle? That is very funny.
The quality image.
I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. That's hilarious.
This is fine. There is nothing to be done.
Just the worst.
Technically, I lost at least twice, so in those universes, you won. So, I'll just pretend those Celestes are happy.
Oh,
It's a nice dream.
do you understand?
What is this?
Aw, poor Eye.
Yes, indeed. Isn't it wonderful?
If I could come back, I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette. That's crazy. You just get executed again.
Thrills, chills, kills! Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. That dame knows what to do.
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
She looks oddly into it, but I know that's a gambling thing. Oh god, they're gonna burn her alive!
You see, it's a kind of, like, extravagant death she would have wanted.
That's fair, but Jesus. Burning alive can't feel good.
This is in the Dokkan Magic amateur.
Is she gonna crack? Oh, there's the help, help, help. Oh, so she didn't have to slowly burn alive.
She would have wanted to. She got cheated out of her extravagant fancy death.
I don't know about all that. But either way, for my sake, I'm glad that she just got trucked. I didn't want to think about that.
Now she's off in some isekai world.
Yep. And such ends. Maybe she is a vampire somewhere in a vampire castle.
Extreme! What are you gonna do?
Let me out of here!
Too bad. How strange. Hey! Hey! What?
So then, you...
Ooh.
Gross. Gross!
Ooh. How exciting. Hello. Well? See?
So...
Hey,
Indeed. Hey,
I'll try to play again tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
What?
You're in a mood.
so...
Come on. What? Goodbye.
well then.
Yo!
She's the most precious. Oh. Best girl.
Definitely is the best girl in this game.
Yes.
Okay.
Girls like her look total bush shorts when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Wonderful.
Go? So then... You... However... What? Indeed.
No, fam, he thinks somebody killed you.
What? It's true. That's fine.
Ooh, it's the big plot.
Yeah, the first three
Let-
cases
let-
are over.
let's
Now it's
go.
all plot.
Yeah. Let's see.
Correct.
I did notice that storage closet.
correct.
I wondered if there was something back here. I was just thinking, it's weird that this place is a... Ooh. Bathroom for apparently no reason. On every floor. But I get makes sense the school setting. That was my justification. Yo-ho! It's all gone! Did I just get over the head by the real Monokuma? That's what I feel like. The real principal. Ooh, what am I about to see? Oh! Go, Sakura, go! She has the Megalovania eye. I hope Sakura's not the spy.
What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
Oh no!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this. You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Oof. Ah. Eef. Oof. Oof. Ah. Eef. Yikes.
Single, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, Junko has to still be alive. She's on all the cover art, but she wasn't even in a real chapter.
Wait, who has to still be alive?
Weird girl with the hair. The girl directly below the no.
Junko?
Yeah. She's gotta be. There's no way. She's on all of the cover art.
You're thinking like Irie now.
I know. Yeah. This did look pretty convincing, though. But if you could build the robot Monokuma, then you could definitely build a suit that extends spikes. Actually, I think I'm done.
Well, you basically finished the chapter. Oh yeah, you're on chapter 4 now.
Yeah, I am.
You're definitely done.
Alright.
Cool. This was a good stream.
Time to upload the stream to YouTube. Alright. And break.